Right behind me is where all the heroin, fentanyl, and meth get sold, under that overpass behind me. As we all know, in 2023, the drug problem is fucking rampant. It's real bad. And I just wanted to go over a little bit of my past substance abuse. Kind of summarize here a little bit. I started out no different than most. Partying and drinking in high school, smoking weed, getting in fights. I thought it was cool. I thought everything was good. When I graduated, I started going to the bars, and the drinking and the smoking weed got ramped up threefold. I mean, I was smoking weed in the morning right when I woke up, all throughout the day, still functioning, but I was high most of the day. Into my early 20s, the bar scene really got ramped up, and the drinking became power drinking from Friday night to Sunday night, with weed all throughout the week. Then, when I was around 23, that was when the cocaine came into the picture. And really, I jumped in feet first with cocaine because I loved it. So at that time, I was drinking, smoking weed, and doing cocaine on the weekends. Shortly after that, I was introduced to meth. And wow, yeah, I really loved that combination. The booze, the meth, and the cocaine together felt really good. Eventually, I started eating painkillers at the end of the night because nobody likes being up for days, especially on meth. It's a shit feeling. You get all paranoid. I don't need to go into that. We all know how that is. So the painkillers started to take over. In 2006, I had a back injury. And back then, the doctors didn't give a shit about giving you strong painkillers, as we all know. So I started taking morphine pills in 2006. And after a few months, I was hooked. I was taking them every day. I was hooked. As soon as I went back to the doctor to get my prescription filled, he burnt me. He said, "Nah, you're done. Can't give you any more." And that was the first time I actually felt sickness from opiates. And let me tell you, it wasn't fun. So naturally, I went to the streets to get my pills. Just so happens that a roommate of mine that moved into my house started selling the Oxycontin 80s. So I started sniffing those and smoking them eventually. Shortly after that, he brought some heroin into the house. And I started to smoke on that as well. But things really didn't get bad until I shot up heroin for the first time. I actually didn't even know how to do it. I had to have a buddy of mine do it for me. He was hesitant, obviously, but I told him I was going to do it anyway, so he helped me out. And right after that, I fucking knew that I was fucked. I had that feeling in the back of my head, like, wow, this is another level. And I didn't really care. To be honest, at that point. I didn't care. It felt good. I was in pain. And I was fucking definitely in denial. As the years went on, I'm skipping over a lot here. I just want to sum up. But in that time, a couple different times I tried fentanyl, the patches. And it was really strong. So I didn't really seek it out then. I just continued shooting heroin. In 2014, I moved to Spain, and things really started to get bad then. Immediately, I went to the methadone clinic, got on methadone. I taught English there with an ex-girlfriend out of our house. And I met a couple people that lived in a certain neighborhood where they sold drugs. So naturally, I found out where that was. And I met a couple of gypsies that sold heroin and they sold crack out of their house. It really got bad at that point. Eventually, my girlfriend kicked me out of the house. I went to a couple rehabs. I was homeless there. And I ended up getting deported after a while and came back. But when I came back to the United States, that was when I was introduced to fentanyl legit. And I fell in love with it. You know, fentanyl is absolutely, the hands down, the worst out there. And we all know that. I guarantee you have a loved one or a friend that has died from this shit. I know I've lost a lot of friends to this. And I almost died with this. My last run with fentanyl, I overdosed 7 times in a 2.5-week period. And it got so bad that, because I went to the same hospital every time in my hometown, the doctor started calling me by my first name. That's how bad it got. And the person who found me on my last overdose said that I wasn't breathing for 6 minutes. So to say I'm lucky to be here is a fucking understatement. And at that moment was my watershed moment. That was the moment that I decided to never go back to that ever again. And I'll do whatever I have to do to change my life. And from that moment on, that's what I've done. Life is so much better when we do positive things. We're here to grow, to learn, and to help other people. That's it. I really hope you guys reach out if you need, if you're struggling, or if you know somebody that's struggling. I understand and I want to help. I just want to tell you that I love you guys, and have a good day. It's a beautiful day here. It's gray, but it's still a nice day. It's good to be alive. Have a good day.